we're gonna try to segue all those things into that regarding
At
the
school, they knew what fraternities you were in.
Definitely wasn't an easy decision. I sat down with my dad.
Welcome to another episode of I Am the Change podcast, brought to you by Dreams to Reality Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward uplifting, inspiring, and empowering communities all over the world. I'm your host, Michael Davis, alongside Mr. Jason Redmond. How you doing tonight, bro?
Hey, man. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Hey, man. Listen, hey, I'm excited, man. When it's we get ready to have these events, man, and we like, hey, man, we need a guest.
Yeah. Had to go into the bag.
Had to go into the bag. Hey, look.
Yeah.
So, when I was at homecoming, man, I met Dr. Lundy. So actually, let me rewind. I met Dr. Lundy before. I did make a lasting impression on her. So when I seen her, like every time I seen her, she was always like, she didn't realize who I was. So this time I made a lasting impression on her because we had some software issues and I was trying to help her with. But so I went and I got the second in charge at Knoxville College, man. So we already had, Leonard Adams on, the president. So I went and got second in charge, Dr. Dasha Lundy. And when I got to talking to her and she was telling me a little bit about her story, I was like, we gotta have you on our podcast so you can kind of tell the people about Dasha Lundy and how you got started, how you got to be who you are today. So, and then she's at Knoxville College, man. Like everybody at Knoxville College doing big things. Yeah. So
that's a fact.
So look, Doctor, can I call you Dasha Lundy? Because it's kind of hard calling you Dr. Lundy all the time because I always call you Dasha Lundy. So
well, you can call me Dasha for this time being.
I can call you that. Okay, I mean I can be formal if you need me to. Just let me know. Okay.
You already put respect on my name.
Gotcha.
My coach always said, make sure they call you doctor, but you already did that.
I threw the doctor out there. Cool.
You already did it out there.
So, Dr. Lundy, Dasha Lundy, tell the people about Dasha Lundy. Tell us how you got to be second in charge at Knoxville College. Tell us how you came about to be a councilwoman, correct?
County commissioner
in Knoxville, and you did something special after George Floyd was murdered. You got to talk about that also. You got to tell the people about that part.
Well, this is going to be forever and a day, so I'm going to try to shorten my story. So, so by trade, Dr. Lundy, I have a doctorate in physical therapy, so that's where the doctorate comes from. Been practicing for it'll be 17 years this year, but as you stated, I did resign from that position to go full time at Knoxville College.
You resigned from the physical therapy job?
Yeah, I resigned for the company I was working for. Not completely. I do PRN work, but they don't need me that much, so I'm pretty at the college full time. So this kind of way, I left a safe career to embark a new journey of trying to revitalize a historically Black institution that was founded in 1875, and this year we will be 147 years old.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Bulldogs, go Bulldogs.
Hey, and keep the light shining.
And one thing that people always ask me is, I did not graduate from Knoxville College. No. Graduated from Chattanooga. My bachelor's and doctorate, and I got my master's from the Tennessee State University.
Ooh, put some respect in the Tennessee State.
Gotta put that out there.
I got you.
You don't get the HBCU experience when you're getting your master's. It's kind of like your own line for those people who have pledged. It's hazing when you're in grad school. So I didn't to go to the parties and go to homecoming and be cute and all that stuff. That was a negative when I was in grad school. So I didn't really enjoy homecoming until after I graduated with my master's. Right. Become who I am. I always had a passion for community and people. I always served my community ever since I was in high school. And then in my later years, kind of start asking the question more and being more intentional about why is it always poverty in Black communities, it seems like, and always around and centered around the Martin Luther King Boulevard. So it's like in the Black community, there's always a Martin Luther King
Boulevard, yeah,
or avenue, and it's poor, and it didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So I just started kind of, because when I used to volunteer in other places, I always volunteer with youth because I love the youth. I love giving back, but I challenged myself and I became a president of a neighborhood association, really trying to figure out how to do commercial development and create businesses. I had no idea how that works as it relates to government and community. Okay. So people started seeing what I was doing in the community. My special project was the Burleson Commercial District. I was able to get money from our mayor. She put us in a budget of $200,000, which wasn't much, but Burleson has been ignored for years. It's been blighted since I was a kid, and I'm about to be 42. Okay. So when that started happening, people started watching me more and more because they like, how does that happen or whatever? And people start saying, you need to run for office. And I said no, because I love.
Understandable.
I'm an introvert, even though I love people. I don't like to be around people all the time. I am such a homebody, but after a couple of years of people asking me, I kind of prayed. I said, God, do you want me to run for office? Sometimes the stars just align, and sometimes we ignore those stars. And I just kind of put myself out there. Had no idea what I was doing. I didn't really know what all a commissioner did. But I put my name in the hat. I had 9 weeks to basically be the incumbent.
Wow.
But it was zero money in December. And my election was in March, and I ended up raising almost $10,000. People giving. It was very interesting. Just people that didn't even know me. They like, I want to give to her, and I beat an incumbent on my first try. So that's where county commission came. Knoxville College.
Yes.
It's a lot going on over here, isn't it? So you have to tell me a little bit. So how did I get involved? I was part of Knoxville College Board of Trustees before I became county commissioner.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
I was elected to the board in, I think it was homecoming 2018. Oh. And I started in January 2019. Okay. And just kind of learning, like no one knew me. People was like, where'd she come from? I was voted in basically because a city councilwoman who was a vice mayor at the time recommended me to be on the board because I don't think it was anyone from Knoxville on the board, and they part of the community and can help build the bridges and tell Knoxville College story. But
wasn't Frank Shanklin on the board?
I think we came back on at the same time.
Okay.
He went, so because he's a part of KCNAA, so he was elected as the alumni representative. So we came at the same time, but I don't think anybody was on there before. So we came. So we was there at the same time or whatever. But so got involved with Knoxville College. Next thing you know, I became the vice chair when the now interim president of Knoxville College stepped down from his vice chair position, and then I became vice chair. And then next thing you know, on January 4th of 2021, at our board meeting, here you go, Leonard Adams, Dasha, Lundy.
It's all yours.
Leadership.
Yeah.
It's funny at this time because I'm thinking like when me and Leonard talk about it, we call him IPA. I must say that when we talk about it,
I got all kind of nicknames.
Have any preparation? There is no transition. It's like here you go. And it was so much going on in our lives. I'm a new commissioner, still trying to navigate the COVID world, a lot of violence in the community, just a lot of, people don't know when you run for office, it takes so much out of you, a lot of hurt and pain, because you realize who your friends are when you're running for office. You lose some friends because you are a target and you're always attacked. So you have to have really thick skin.
So stay right there, not to cut you off, but stay right there. You said you're always a target and you're attacked. Like, how do you being an introvert, how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, I think it's just confidence that I have built within myself over really recently, just getting stronger and stronger. And that comes from my faith. I'm such I love the word of God. I believe in God. I journal a lot. And I always look within, asking what should I change? I ask those tough questions to myself and just really trying to become a better person, a better woman, a better leader every day. So, and that's hard. It's hard for people to look within and kind of challenge where they are in life and deal with their insecurities and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so that's how I dealt with it. It was really hard because I'm such what Jay Red always call me, a waterhead.
Oh my gosh. Hey, sidebar story, man. So when I called Dr. Lundy, I said, look, I need a guest for my podcast today. And she said, oh yeah, I'll do it. So I had asked her some weeks ago, but every time I needed her, we always had a guest pop. We always had a guest come through. But today, she was like, oh yeah, there's no problem, I'll do it. And I said, okay, cool. She said, and it's funny, can I tell the Spider-Man story? So I called and I'm like, I said, is there any questions that we can't ask? She said, oh no, we're all good to go. We'll ask whatever. And she said something that alluded to the fact that she was watching Spider-Man and she was crying. And I'm like, Spider-Man? Like, oh,
you're crying from Spider-Man?
Yeah. It was so emotional.
Bro, like,
wait, which one were you watching? Which Spider-Man were you? The new
one, No Way Home.
Like, okay.
That I cried.
It was a little emotional.
And I wasn't ready for it. I texted with my friends. I'm like, you didn't tell me I was going to cry. And he was like, person like you with a big heart, you're always going to cry. Because I do have a big heart.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to balance that. And what touched me, I'm a big Marvel fan. All that comic stuff, I love. So Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, that's the theme. That was the theme of my election and everything. It's all about Wakanda. So people around here know I love that. But when is it King T'Chaka, the dad, the father? When he Black Panther, he said, you're a good man with a good heart, but it's hard for a good man to be king. That touched me because I see myself as a queen, but sometimes your heart get in the way and you can't make sound decisions because you're so emotional about that person.
Right.
So I had to find that balance, and I'm getting tougher by the day of who you can cut off and what you should cut so you can continue forward. Because some people are parasites to your life and can hold you back. But, my love for people doesn't change. It's just that I had to learn how to create those boundaries and know that just pretty much know like who doesn't need to be in your life so you can move forward. And that's really hard for me. So Spider-Man, he had tough decisions.
Hey,
the world, because everybody should live, and like all this stuff started going on. I understand Spider-Man. I understand fixed it, but if we would have created his boundaries, he might not have go through all that. But we all got a journey to go through, and he grew from it. But it's the sacrifice, because he had to let go of his identity, and he lost the love of his life. And his best
friend. Yeah, so that was
his best friend.
Difficult.
So it's kind of
before you guys ruin it,
one of those things that make you think about life and leadership.
Yeah, before y'all.
We might
what
have
you
gave away
say,
too much. Jason hasn't seen
I
it
haven't
yet.
seen it yet.
I think we can.
Oh, well.
It's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
Me.
You just ruined it for me. I mean,
It's all right.
I'm gonna go see it eventually. I probably won't.
Well, I mean, it's so much, so it's still worth
It's a really good
movie.
It's worth going to see the movie theater.
But it's definitely a lot of leadership lessons in there, and that's one of the reasons why I love the comic movies, the Marvel movies.
So you
yeah, absolutely.
You getting
Sad that Stan Lee died. He used to have a cameo in all the movies. Now we don't get that no more.
I know.
Yeah.
Like
Stan Lee
was a genius, man. I want to be like him when I grow up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know Stan. Look, all I haven't seen is I would have never thought about him not being in this movie, but okay, man. All right. So
I know he's had a whole sidebar because of Spider-Man in my
yeah. Water that, and you being a waterhead and you crying at Spider-Man, like I can't believe it. But who's judging? I'm not judging.
I'm still human.
I get it. I definitely get it. You're showing your sensitivity side. Yeah. You're introverted.
But it don't mean I'm gonna fight you though. So
hey, you're not gonna fight me. I ain't gonna fight. I'm just gonna like you win. Like
I do have a fighting spirit. I might cry at the end because I had but
hey,
look if you buck if you want to.
Oh my gosh. Look if you buck. Tell me about
if you book if you want to. I have to always remind people. I might be kind, but look if you book.
Hey, look, so that I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to ask something completely different. But so when you're working in, because you're in Knoxville, and Knoxville is like one of the last majority white towns in Tennessee. It's like it's a majority white town, correct? It's like 15% black, if I'm not mistaken.
In the county, it's about 8% black. In the city, about 17.
Okay, so so normally you'd be sitting there with Caucasians and men, white men, some
most in the spaces that I am, since I love economic development and businesses. Sometimes I am the only woman, of course, the only black in some of those spaces. So I do deal with a lot of white men. I felt like God prepared me for that for some reason. Because even in the world of physical therapy, you got to deal with doctors, and most of the doctors I dealt with were white men.
So is that where you get that nuck if you buck, if you want to mentality? Having let folks know that, hey, I still fight. I might cry at the end.
Yeah, I still fight. I still have, I tell people I still have to be a G in these streets. You got to. And that's just life lessons. It's just life lessons. I had even going back into my career as a physical therapist, as a new physical therapist, of course, you're insecure, even though you went to school, you passed your boards, you did your clinicals, you're out there now by yourself, navigating a world that people don't believe Black people can have a master's degree in physical therapy. I had to fight that battle, but just dealing with that whole being subservient men or to people, white people or whatever. I had to learn how to navigate that in healthcare. And I remember having a patient that I knew was dying. Like he had a big wound or whatever. I don't want to go in details because they might gross people out. And I remember being nervous about like, how do I approach this doctor? Because, doctors act a certain way. Don't want to call them out arrogant, but sometimes they're just in their headspace and they're not going to listen to anybody that's not on their level. Right. And I stopped that guy in the hall. I finally got the guts to stop the doctor in the hall. I said, you have to come see this patient or he's not going to make it. And he was blowing me off. Then he finally came to see that patient. I was seeing a patient, outpatient. That patient ended up being admitted to the hospital for 6 weeks. He had a severe infection. His body that he would have died if I wouldn't have said anything, got the guts and said anything. And then the doctor said, you think you're smart, don't you? He said, so what do you think I should do? And I say, I am smart. So it just different things, because he said it in a sarcastic way. So stuff like that, you deal with, but you grow from and you just keep maturing.
Dig it.
So facing those battles, did you come up against some of the, like, I guess some of the same situations trying to stand up for, like when the George Floyd stuff was going on and you said you got involved with that, being in a place where it's majority white and being around a bunch of white men, like how difficult was that weathering the storm and standing up for what you believed in with all that going on and being where you were?
Yeah, we had an incident actually last year during county commission where we've been dealing with murders of Black youth in the local Black high school. And we had a group of protesters, of course, they was Black, come to the meeting to advocate for, just pretty much how they felt about one of the students that was murdered in the bathroom by police officers. Which I guess the political term, it was an officer involved shooting. So of course, protesters came, it was about 12, most of them Black, a few people that were non-Black. The sheriff's officers lined up the room, about 40 officers lined up the room. And I'm thinking like, this is like Bloody Sunday. So it took me, and I had to call my mom because I knew they was gonna call the officers in. But I was confused because when it was time to fight for the masked versus unmasked, we had a big issue around that. All the white people yelling at us and threatening us and all that stuff, nothing. Officers lining the room with them. But when it's time for 12 Black people who want to protest for their community, it becomes a threat. I could not even concentrate in that meeting. I ended up calling my mom. I said, I need help. I can't do it. I said, all these officers, I was so high, I don't even know what happened at that meeting, but at the end, I finally said something. And I said, this feels like Bloody Sunday. And I feel like if somebody makes the wrong move, I'm going to die. And I'm like, this is what privilege looks like. I'm the only Black person on the commission. Everybody else feels protected because their officers are there. And I'm the one that feels like I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And that's what privilege looks like. When I spoke up about it, I don't even think it changed even the hearts of people. People just kept moving, but I was hot. Oh gosh, it was so hard to sit through that. And I just like, we are still in 1960. We are still here. And what can we do about it? And how can you help a community who has become hopeless and despondent in fighting issues? At the same time, try to figure out how to explain justice to people who don't get it and how supremacy is real. And that's just a tough battle because I don't think God put me in the position of being a commissioner to create more of a divide. I think he's called me to be there to be a unifier for the community, no matter what race you are. But it's really hard because it's like I want to lift my people up and I want the other people to kind of come down so we can find some equal playing ground where we can really work together. And we're just so far behind. And that's why I hope that's what Knoxville College can do as a historically Black institution. I feel like that's a place where our people can get liberated and healed and kind of learn who they are and how to fight in this space without hate, because the hatred is not working for us right now.
So you talked about it feeling like 1960, and you talking about being liberating and healing. Some of the things that you're talking about to me sounds like the space that has been created because the Black church doesn't operate in the same way that it once did back in the 1960s and 1950s within the civil rights, in the beginnings of the civil rights movement. So to me, are you saying that you think this great institution of Knoxville College, where great people graduate from, myself included, is going to be that filler of the void where the Black church has, in my opinion, has vacated that void and let people kind of fend for themselves? That's what you're thinking?
That's what I'm saying. That's my deepest desire, and that's the vision that I see at its core. That's why HBCUs exist. You notice there are a lot more HBCUs. I mean, the HBCUs are in the forefront now. Mm-hmm. You see money coming to them. I just think that's part of God's plan. let me put you back on your land.
Yeah. So a lot
Still
of
there by white people, but it's still our land. We run it now.
But you see a lot of HBC, you see a lot of the bigger HBCUs getting money, like the Jackson States, the Spelmans, the Morehouses, the Howards, but you don't see the smaller ones like the Payne colleges, the Wiley colleges, the Stillman colleges, Lane College. You don't see the smaller institutions, the Philander Smiths getting the same type of love, for lack of a better word, as those other institutions are getting. And to me, it's kind of like the disparity is so huge. Like, if a Knoxville College closes, Jason Redmond wouldn't have been able to have gotten his bachelor's degree because that's where he felt comfortable going to school, and he fit there. That was an institution that fit his learning style, and it fit him to excel and be the person that he is today. Without that school, I don't, do I get a degree? Yes, but am I the person I am today? Probably not.
And I always enjoy hearing everyone's Knoxville College story. And Knoxville College has produced so many great leaders. But in reality, HBCUs were responsible for creating the Black middle class.
Correct.
And now that we didn't have this George Floyd situation, people are realizing they're in these boardrooms now, looking to their left and looking to the right. It's like, wait a minute, we don't see any Black and brown people there. So I'm starting to make the connection of the decline of Knoxville and a 42% poverty rate among Blacks, and the violence and all that stuff. Is like, we didn't save our school.
Right.
No one helped us. And when I tell my colleagues who are white, they sit back, they like, wow, that makes sense. When Knoxville College was thriving, we was in a better place in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we have to save the school, get our people back on track so they can go out there and be leaders again, because Knoxville College alums and students were instrumental in the civil rights movement in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Right. Yes.
And there's plenty of photos and stories about that, which most people that's around here know about. Bob Booker has written books and articles about that. So Knoxville College, that's in the DNA of fighting for people and liberation.
Knoxville College, they produced a lot of people that were in the not medical program, but I think biology program went from Knoxville College to Meharry. So they produced a lot of doctors started from Knoxville College. And I think it was like the 60s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I remember Dr. Edith Irby. I think she passed away last year.
Edith Irby.
She was a Black woman to be the president of the American Medical Association, if I'm not mistaken, but she's a Knoxville College graduate. So yes.
She was in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she was in Houston. Yeah.
And was very instrumental in, one of the reasons why our doors are still open today. She believed in the school so much that she gave a lot of money to the school.
She was dope. And that's it. I got a chance to meet her. We played when I was in college. We played Texas Southern, and she hosted the football team after the game, and I got a chance to meet her. Nice lady, very nice.
But yeah, I'm definitely hoping that Knoxville College will help decrease our poverty rate.
I hope so too. So
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, no, you got it. Go ahead.
So you, after George Floyd was murdered, you tell me about the program you put together and the project that you did, and how much you raised in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we created, so it's a group of Black women who are powerhouses in their own fields and their own respective. We started having brunch. This is before I ran for office. It's kind of frustrated, like where our community is. Our community struggling. And we figure like, well, let's just start meeting and just talking about ways that we can help our community. And we started having those brunches in 2019. Then we stopped when I ran for office, and we like, okay, let's get back together. And so we started a group of, we started off with maybe 9, and then people start making a decision like, I'm not ready. So now we are at 5. So it's a group of 5 women. We call ourselves the women. created a business to give microloans to small businesses in the community, Black businesses in the community. So right after George Floyd, we just kind of launched ourselves. I don't even know if we was intentional about that. It just kind of happened. We said we was going to launch a date and a certain date, and George Floyd happened, and then money just started coming in. And I told Jason we raised well over 5 figures within 2 weeks to start giving out loans, micro loans to businesses in our area. And we're still here and giving out 0 interest loans to about 7 businesses. And since they've been a part of the women and received that funding, a lot of businesses have went to the next level with their marketing. Some people have buildings now. So just a small, and it's just like $2,000 loans. That has really made a difference in our community, and we hope that's one way to decrease the 42% poverty rate. Because it takes a community, it takes innovation, it just takes different people who care, who can work together to transform the community.
That's so dope. That's so dope. I'm when I got a chance to hear some of your story, I was like, yo, this is the reason why I said we had to have her on, because I'm like, the stories are amazing. To me, the 50,000 over with the 5 figures in 2 weeks, it was amazing. I never put the correlation of the decline of Knoxville College to the increased poverty rate and the crime and just the despair of Black Knoxville. And I never put those two together, but it does make sense. How?
Because Knoxville College created community. It was where the community came.
Yes. Yeah.
Together. Regardless if you went there, you know how many people you met who didn't went to your school.
Yeah. People would come up on campus all the time, and we would have parties on the campus, and the community would come. Like you didn't win at a party at Knoxville College by just marketing to the students. You had to go out in the community and bring the community on campus. A lot of people didn't like to come on campus because we didn't serve alcohol on campus. So you had to pregame and then come to the party. So, and then you had to be careful because you do security, but you didn't. But at the end of the day,
don't incriminate yourself.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, man. The statute of limitation was long gone. But it was a good vibe when you got into the college center. But now that's not as vibrant as it once was. Yeah, I can see how the community doesn't have a place to go. They feel that is like that's their own. So.
And it's still some kind of spirit there, because I end up, because there's no trespassing. We have a gate up, and I find Black young males walking the campus, and I'm like, "Why are you here?" And they say, "I find peace here," and I find that very interesting. So it's still something on that campus that people are drawn to.
Yeah.
And they find themselves there. So it's something, and that's what makes me believe that God has a hand on Knoxville College, and we can't fail as long as we.
I agree.
What do you think it's going to take to build Knoxville College back up to its former glory?
Besides tons of money, just really trying to bring people together, not just Blacks, but everybody, because everyone should care about when people are left behind or injustices taking place. And I feel like I told my staff, and we had an administrative meeting, I said, my goal this year, a personal goal, is to build our tribe. And I just go out there and tell our story and give a why. People want to know why. We get challenged a lot because people don't understand why you need a circular institution. You can just go to UT.
Yeah.
And it's very unfair. Because why you need UT? So I'm always tired of people challenging Black people's existence.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation was a 3-hour conversation. I came home and I prayed because I was so exhausted. I said, God, I'll never do that again. I'll never explain my value to people. But it's like we always get questioned, but we ask the same question: why are there Christian schools? Why are there private schools? Like, why you have all these different denomination schools, but you won't ask them that, but you ask us why we need to exist.
Right. Right.
So we got to tell that story. So some of my white colleagues get it, and they always ask, what can I do to help you? I said, tell your other white counterparts what you think about why we need a HBCU in this county, because I'm not doing it anymore. So that's the main thing I always ask. I always ask for money first. I like, no, you need to tell people why we need to be here.
If you need me to come back and speak, yeah, I do it, because I love talking about Knoxville College. If it wasn't for Knoxville College, hey man, I know so many people that wouldn't be where they are right now without that institution.
I mean, and I love like homecoming.
Me too.
We go family.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird. I never go to my homecoming at UT. Did I already say I went to UT Chattanooga? Yeah, but I haven't been to my homecoming, but I've been to Knoxville College homecoming even before I started being in leadership there. So, but it is a cool. It's very inspiring that people still fly from all over the nation to come to homecoming.
Drive 6 hours.
Drive 6 hours.
Yep.
Hotel room, ready for the party. I'm halfway asleep, and people who are way older than me are kicking it to 3 a.m. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I can't do it.
Yeah. So it's like
that's very special. And that shows a lot of dedication to the school.
It's a real family environment. People always talk about, man, how y'all still got homecoming? Your school's not open. I'm like, bro, you got to just go. Like, you got to come. You got to see it, experience it. Like, I've been to other homecomings, and I was like, the feeling's not the same. Mm-hmm. But I don't never tell folks that. I don't ever ran on their parade like, y'all homecoming's okay, but come across the mountains and see what we do here in Knoxville.
Ain't nothing like a Knoxville College homecoming.
Nothing. But
nothing like it.
I brag of my institution, but to hear you brag, keep on bragging, keep on. Go ahead.
But we met so many people this year at homecoming that ain't been there in 30 years and 10 years. Even when I'm on the phone talking to alums, because they need their transcripts and stuff like that, I always ask, are you coming to homecoming? And just because I asked and told them and talked about the exciting things going on, some people did actually come and they haven't been, and they had a ball. And that's part of building our tribe too. I want to build that a Knoxville College alumni tribe and get some of my members back home to see their institution, because some people haven't seen the decline of it, and just really get people on board, because it's going to take all of us. No matter, it's going to take all of us. And I know with institutions like Knoxville College, Black people always have a distrust for each other. We are our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
We don't have to create arguments. So that's another reason I always say we need Knoxville College. I tell my white counterparts, I like, help me I need to heal my tribe first before we go out into this other tribe and unite. Because I can never ever unite with y'all until we unite.
Yeah.
One Knox County and do some great things, but I can't do that because we haven't found us yet. And that's unfortunate, because it keeps us behind and it keeps our communities behind, because we constantly fight each other and we're too small of a group to stay in conflict all the time.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. But I think the good part
about maybe DTR need to, I was gonna say maybe DTR need to take a trip over to Knoxville, do something in the community, help it bring it together. That could be something we do every year.
Hey, maybe we can do a Rhythm of Hope event down there in Knoxville, man. Bring that program to Knoxville.
Hey, that'd be dope.
Let's do it, man.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I think, hey, anything that promotes the school, heals that community. Because again, I always tell folks, like, that school for me was my catapult. Without that school, I don't land where I land. I'm doing something completely different. Am I the Jason Redmond that I am today? No. And I am Jason Redmond, but I won't be the guy that I am today. But again, that's just my story. Now, it's other people that have the same story. But Knoxville College is a school that gives you, I want to say, a second chance school, a school of redemption, a school of glory. It gives you that aha moment They're like, yes, I can. That's what I learned. Anything's possible. It may not happen tomorrow, but keep trying. You know, it's going to eventually pop.
That's why it's the school of healing. It did that for a lot of people who came from places they didn't even think they was going to even make it to school. They didn't even know ready for college, but they graduated. They doing some amazing things.
Yeah. It's a lot of folks that it's a lot.
Because Knoxville College, we're light, and we speak to people.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's off this podcast that I met some amazing people, including Jason. You know what I'm saying? I graduated from Knoxville, so it's pretty dope. Y'all definitely got an amazing group of people coming out of Knoxville.
Man, this is amazing. From all over the country, man. They all just converge in Knoxville. Like it's beautiful to see at homecoming.
Mike, when you gonna come?
I'm gonna have to check out home. Yeah, I was about to say I might have to come check out homecoming this year or something.
Hey man, it's on my birthday.
Homecoming dates. Let me look at my calendar real quick. I think is it October 6th?
October 6th through the 9th. I know that date.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason, are you ready?
Yeah, hey man, so my birthday.
That's all people want. After homecoming, they always asking when's the next homecoming. I'm like, let me get this one. Yeah. So this year is kind of special because it falls on my birthday. That weekend is my birthday. So I'll be expecting to get Miss Dr. Lundy was saying that y'all can like have the big birthday cake come out and like, hey, happy birthday, Jason. All right. We see what your bros would do for you.
Yeah, okay.
The cues take up the whole yard, Mike. That's they have their own. I call them their own pew island.
We do, man. We got a little island.
It's like they're kind of separate. That's how cues for some reason. They try to take over a whole space.
And man,
and goes out there like they have their own homecoming.
But it was but we feed everybody. Like we feed the whole campus.
Yeah, I do feed people.
We feed the whole campus. Everybody come over there and get something to eat. Like it was so it was us. It was Eric Carter had a tent. Eric Smith had a tent. Yeah, man, we had a whole bunch of people. It was a whole bunch of areas. Man, everybody was eating. Everybody was happy. I love it, man. It's beautiful. Like so, like you have to see the campus to understand what I'm saying. But like the Sigmas are at the entrance by the chapel. The Kappas are up from the Sigmas. You got to come across the campus, come across the lawn a little bit. The Delta's got a tent. The Q's got a tent. We got like Dasha said, we got a Q Island, and then everybody else has their little spots around. I didn't see what the AKs, but the AKs didn't have a tent this year, did they?
I think they did.
Oh, I didn't see this. I know the Zetas were over there with the Sigmas. So, but yeah, we were all over the place. But yeah, it's a great time. You got to come see it.
Yeah, come
I
see
think I'm
it.
gonna have to.
Yeah.
You'll be back every year.
Oh yeah, I go every year. Every year.
And make sure you won't sleep the entire time.
No, you'll sleep on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Yeah. So Dr. Lundy, look, I want to thank you for coming on. But before we let our guests go, we always ask them for a little word of inspiration for our viewers to kind of hang their hat on for the week. So if you don't mind, give the viewers something to just hang their hat on for the week and be able to make it through.
I always stay true to yourself. And I always say, know your value, walk in purpose, and change the world. You are very much needed. If you have a dream, go forth. We need your voice. We need your talent. We really have to save our people. I don't have to explain why or how. You already know because God put it in front of you, inside of you. So just do it and let go of the haters and let go of the people who don't support you. They don't supposed to walk with you, and just keep going.
Wow. Hey, that's good right there.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is.
Hey, so again, we're gonna have you. We gotta have you back on again, Dr. Lundy. So we might do like a little series with you coming on.
Yeah.
Part 2 coming up. Just let me know.
All right. Hey, look, don't.
I got so much to share.
I know. Hey, yeah, you're like an onion. You got to peel your levels back, your layers back. and get you to talk about it. Because I really want you to come back on and talk about how we're going to save Knoxville College, like how we're going to implement these plans to get this school back running.
We'll do that. We'll do it because we have a great plan for 2022.
I'm ready to hear it too. Get ready because your phone's gonna be ringing.
All I want to say, get your esports jerseys in order.
My who?
Esports.
Esports jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta see this. I didn't get
Next
no
podcast.
Next podcast. Okay. All right. I'm ready.
We have to check it out.
Yeah. All right, Mike, you can take us out of here, brother.
All right. Well, if this is your first time tuning in, please like, subscribe, and continue to follow us on this journey. If you've been rocking with us so far, please keep on keeping on because we have a lot more amazing episodes to come. I'd like to thank my co-host, Mr. Jason Redmond. It's always a pleasure.
No, the pleasure's all mine, brother.
And I'd like to thank our amazing guest, Dr. Lundy. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, sharing your journey and what you want to do for the college. I look forward to being in contact and having you back on the show in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all keep inspiring people.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's the goal. We're DTR Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward uplifting, inspiring, and empowering communities all over the world. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. And remember, our goal is not to be better than anybody, but together we can achieve better for everybody. Thank you. Have a good night. Peace.
All right.